Right. Okay then. So let's move on to this evening's meeting. Right, it's now 7:35. So I'd like to welcome you all to this virtual meeting of Hounslow's licensing panel. We'd like to welcome the members of the panel who are sitting today, as well as council officers who will be assisting members throughout the meeting. In addition, I'd like to welcome members of the public who are watching this meeting at home. The way this meeting will work, I'm echoing. Somebody's got their speakers on.
Oh.
I think that may be Mr. Simiu. Have you got a microphone and phone on at the same time?
Yeah, I logged in like you said. What should I do? Sorry.
Yeah, turn the sound on your computer off, because if you've got a phone and a computer on at the same time, then it loops and you get a constant echo.
Yeah, I've done that.
So you can watch on the computer, but
I'm the last person to want to hear my voice. So right. Anyway, where did I get to? Right. So I've asked each officer to speak in turn at the appropriate steps. This means that there should be normally no need for people to interrupt or ask to speak. However, I shall make sure that members have ample opportunity to ask questions and make comments on the reports and applications before them. The exception to this arrangement will be the legal committee or licensing officers who may turn on their microphones to alert me to any legal governance or licensing issues that needs addressing, although I would expect this to be a rare occurrence. In addition, we have a producer of the meeting from our ICT department who may also contact me if necessary, but I think it's unlikely if all goes well. The etiquette for members of the panel and for officers who are expecting to speak will be to mute your microphones until you are asked to speak. This means there'll be only one person speaking at a time, and there will be no background noise, making it easier for us all to follow the meeting and also those watching at home. I will also ask members always to say who they are when they make a contribution. Well, as it's only me and Councillor Smith, then I think you can tell the difference between the voices. So, officers of the council provide assistance and advice as required, but the final decisions will be made by members. So I'd like now to introduce the members tonight. So I invite Councillor Karen Smith to introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Councillor Karen Smith. I represent Hounslow South and I'm a member of the panel this evening.
Right, and I am Councillor Richard Foote. I'm Chair of Licensing and a representative from Hamworth Ward. Now been renamed Hamworth Village Ward, making it sound very posh. So then we switch to the officers attending. Rita, did I say Rita?
No, me.
Oh, I didn't. No, I was going to say, that's throwing me. Why have I got Rita on my list? So, right, sorry, can I get you to introduce yourself anyway?
Sure, no worry. My name's Nicola Harbour and I'm a licensing authority officer.
Yeah. I saw that earlier on. I thought I've got two names here. That was when I was looking at the papers yesterday. And I meant I must take note of that. Right. Okay, Canis.
Good evening. My name is Canis Ali. I'm the legal advisor advising the panel this evening.
We also have officers acting in a producing role for the technical side of the meeting, but they're not expected to be involved in the discussions of the meeting. So I'll thank them for their attendance and help, but I won't ask them to introduce themselves. Right, so have you all got all on muted microphones, with my exception of me? Right. Members of the public reminded that the agenda and all of the reports being considered by the panel today can be found on the council website under the licensing panel meetings page. So if you want to see them, that is where to look. I also want to make sure that all members have seen the agenda and reports. You've had yours, haven't you, Karen? Thumbs up? Right. I'd like to remind members of the need to hear all of the evidence in each report we're considering tonight. This means you should listen to the whole debate. Please don't pop out to make tea or walk the cat, or this is a legal requirement. If you should find you're having technical problems and need to log out of the meeting and come back in again, please let me know as soon as possible. Ideally beforehand, but certainly, but if not, then afterwards, then we can retrack over the ground and see whether or not we can find out how much we've got to recap on. Finally, I would say to any member of the public listening or watching, thank you for joining us this afternoon. We hope this meeting will go well, but any virtual meeting may suffer from unexpected technical hitches, so please bear with us. I should also clarify that this meeting is being recorded and it will be made available on the Council's YouTube channel in the next few days. Contributors to the meeting are asked to remember that they therefore will be included in the recording of the public meeting. Thank you. We'll now move on to the first item on the agenda. This afternoon's application is an application for a premises licence for Sound Lounge in Park Lane, Brentford. We need to time contributions. I will ask the legal officer to alert me when allocated timings have been reached. I will also ask her to alert me prior to the guillotine being reached if we've not concluded the meeting by that time. May I remind all members, officers and public speakers at this meeting to introduce themselves each time they speak, also to turn off their microphones when they finish speaking. It's also important to speak slowly and clearly so everyone can understand what you're saying. Finally, if you're making reference to any agenda documentation, please give the page and paragraph details. Right, so I need to confirm who will be speaking for the applicant.
Myself, that's Costa Simiu.
Sorry, say that again.
Costa Simiu.
Costa
Simiu.
Simians. Yeah, okay. Right. And we don't have anybody from the objectors present, I understand, Bill. Is that correct?
That's right, Chair. Both objectors emailed to say they would not be attending this evening, but have asked for their written representations to be taken into account.
Okay. Right. The process for an application with speakers is as follows. Stage 1, the officer, introduction and confirmation of facts. The officer will give their representation of the application. The applicant then be asked if they agree with the circumstances described in the officer's report. There is no reports from police, licensing authority, or any other body case. There is the applicant, and the other person's is written submission only, yeah? So the other persons are the objectors. And then summing up, I will be asking, well, there'll only be the applicant to sum up if it's necessary. We'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take long. The panel will then leave the meeting to discuss the case and reach decision. It will be joined by no one else except the legal officer, who's there to give advice on the law, but will not be party to the decision. We also have a deputy to the legal officer who's there in a learning capacity, not there taking part in what's going on. But again, will not be a party to the decision. Once we've done that, we will return to the meeting to read out our decision on the application, and that will conclude the consideration of the item. We'll therefore now begin the formal hearing of the case, and I start by inviting the licensing officer to introduce the report.
Thank you, Chair. Members are requested to determine an application for the grant of a premises licence in respect of Zion Lounge Limited, Hilton Hotel, Zion Park Road, Brentford. This application was submitted by Zion Lounge Limited. The licensable activities applied for are as follows. Supply of alcohol for consumption on the premises, Monday to Thursday, 12 till midnight, Friday to Saturday, 12 to 2 a.m. Live music, recorded music indoors, Monday to Thursday, 12 till midnight, Friday to Saturday, 12 till 2 a.m. Late night refreshment indoors, Monday to Thursday, 2300 hours to midnight, Friday to Sunday, 2300 hours to 2 a.m. Opening hours of the premises, Monday to Thursday, 12 till 1 a.m., Friday to Sunday, 12 to 3 a.m. The application has been properly made and all procedures correctly followed. The application has been attached as Appendix A. In line with standard procedures and in addition to the requirements of the Act, the Licensing Authority has notified residents and businesses in the immediate vicinity of the premises of the park that the application has been submitted. The appropriate ward councillors, neighbouring wards, residents and responsible authorities have been consulted. Of those consultees identified in paragraph 6.2, there have been 2 representations from other persons concerned with noise and public nuisance and the time the applicant is applying for. The representations in full have been attached as Appendix B. A copy of the report and all representations received have been sent to the applicant. Those that have made representations have been informed of the time and date of the licensing panel meeting and have been informed of their right to attend. Thank you, Chair.
Right, thank you, Nicola. Right, I've lost my place, sorry. I'm trying to catch up. So anyway, the applicant, can I just confirm with you that you agree the circumstances as described by the officer? This is not a debate at this stage, just do you agree the circumstances as outlined?
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
That's fine, thank you very much. So I'm now going to move on to the applicant's case. So you have 10 minutes to make that case.
Yep. Should I begin?
Okay. Yes, you may begin when you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So we operate lease and we operate a space in the hotel, which was a terrace where we've made a restaurant and lounge area. And as we've seen the business grow and seen the type of clientele we have from the hotel as well, we've made an application to local authority for a premises license. This is just to accompany the current setup of the business. It's not to turn the business into something different to what it is at the moment. It is a restaurant and lounge area. What we're asking for these hours and the alcohol is just to accompany the current Pan-Asian cuisine that we have, which is quite high-end, quite an expensive food. So it's just to have some nice cocktails and some wines to go with it. In regards to the music, we're very much looking for background music, especially after 11 o'clock. We're not looking for any kind of disco, nightclub type thing. We're very happy to apply limiters to satisfy the local residents and the authorities as well, because we're not that kind of venue. Regards to the late night, especially on the weekend, with people leaving and coming and going and noise, we currently do have security in place, and we do have in the car park as well. Should the application be granted, we would look to bolster that at the end of the park as well as at the entrance of the hotel to make sure people are leaving in a calm manner, and they're not being affected and they're not affecting the residents in any way. We've had a long-standing relationship with Hilton Hotel. We've been there for a few years now. Never had any issues. Worked very well with them, so we've demonstrated that we are a good business. We are something for Hounslow, which is nice for the local area, bringing in customers and bringing in people into the local area. And like I said, it's just to diversify the business a bit. and accompany that food with you know, a drink or two. Just to reiterate what I said before, it's by no means a way to open a late night bar or a club or anything like that. And we would welcome any, if you like, restrictions, if you like, anything like that, so we can demonstrate to you guys what we're actually trying to achieve, which is just to accompany the restaurant with an alcoholic menu, and not a bar club situation. And the reason I stress that point is just because of the hours that we've asked for. Could, you know, they look quite late, but it's because it is a lounge area, people do come, and they do come sometimes a bit later, and they like to relax. And that's the reason that we've asked for those hours, if possible. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much. Any questions of the applicant? Karen?
I do have a couple of questions, thank you. First, you say the area was a terrace. Can you explain the construction at all? You know, because it's some sort of outside terraced area that you've kind of enclosed. Yeah, that's my first question.
Yeah, but it's basically, it was a terrace where we have enclosed with glass and with a roof. And we've enclosed it around the side. There are some small openings around the top of the terrace, which was in line with planning with the hotel, because it does fall within an area of national interest, being owned by Duke of Northumberland, and there are certain restrictions as to what you could build on that terrace. So you couldn't just go and add to the hotel and build a brick structure and close it all in with windows. That wasn't allowed with the local authority, with the local trust and authority. So we built what was in keeping, which is what we were guided with the council, which was a glass structure with some openings and the roof with like a plastic sort of sheeting over the top. Hence the feedback from the residents that some noise does escape at times, which is, well, obviously you would have seen that before as well. And that's why I, just going back to my previous point, that's why I said we'd be happy to, should we be granted, to put some sort of limiters in place, something like that, to make sure that the residents are satisfied and there would be no further complaints in the future.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, that kind of answers what I was thinking about it. That's really good, thank you. My other question is about the car parks, because if I look on the map, there's one on the London Road side and one on the Park Road side. Which car park does your do your clientele use?
The Park Road, which is the main entrance into the park. Okay,
yes.
And you drive right up to the top and you've got the Hilton Hotel, and then to the right you've got the Butterfly House. So that car park there, which is used for the hotel guests as well as the guests from Scion House. But obviously in the evening there's only limited hotel guests in that car park, and we actually man that car park with a valet, with a security guy. So we have one on the door at the moment, and we have one patrolling the car park as well.
Okay, and they're not using the drive to the London Road, because that is very close to some flats, I notice.
Yes, no, that's a service entrance only for the hotel. That's for deliveries, and if I'm not mistaken, it's only permitted use between 8 and 5, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. for deliveries.
Okay, that's good. But you're saying that if you have this license, you're trying to have someone at the Park Road gate as well? Is that
to control? Yeah, to control for those residents there, especially on the Friday and Saturday where they're coming in and out. Because I've picked up on the representations, and that was on one of them. And you know, being, as well as a business, you are part of the community, and you do have to respect people's wishes and the way that they live as well. So, you know, for us to further on and keep everyone happy, it's not a huge cost to us or a burden on our business to have that in place, which we'd be more than happy to.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. That's all my questions for now. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen. I think that's picked up much of what I was going to ask about music, background music and limiters. I mean, we would probably, I should think we probably looked at putting that in as a condition. Would that give you any problems?
No, none at all. Because as I said, we're not a club venue. We're not a bar. We are a restaurant. So it's just to have that. It's more to add to the ambience and the atmosphere, as opposed to, dare I say it, full-on rave. You know, if you know what I mean. It's not that kind of.
Yeah.
And we do also have, just to add on that point, we do also have the respect of the hotel guests as well there. So we can't have something going crazy into early hours of the morning, because there are hotel guests there paying quite a substantial amount of money to sleep there the night.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That's all the questions I've got. And anything else, Karen, you want to come back on? No? Right. I think that we should draw the attention to Appendix B and the objections. I've read them. I think, have you read them, Karen? I don't think there's any necessity to read them out again from that point of view. And I think obviously the applicant has read them, because he's referred to them in his comments. So, yeah. So anyway, I think we can move on to the summing up, I think. Is there anything you wish to add to what you've said so far? So that's
no. I'm happy. It was just that those were the key points for me, just to bring to your to the panel's attention. I'm happy.
Okay. So I think really there's nothing more for us to do but to retire to the comfort of our waiting room. It's virtual comfort.
Yeah.
All right, Karen, I'll see you over in the other side with the officers.
Sorry,
Thank you both.
Right.
Sorry,
if you could. Sorry, yes, I should have. I've brought in my legal advisor. Sorry, Kenny. We were moving so fast.
No, I understand. So, as you've heard, the panel will now retire to go to the deliberation room to consider the application and the representations. The panel has the option to grant the application, or grant in part or in full, subject to standard conditions and with extra conditions, or the panel could refuse the application. During deliberation, only the panel members will be present together with myself to advise the panel. As the legal advisor, I will not be taking part in the decision-making process, but will be there to assist the panel members. My colleague will be attending the deliberation room as explained by the chair earlier on, but the purpose is for training, and he will not be taking part in the decision-making process. Normally we say, Chair, we say 15 minutes maximum, but if it takes anything longer than 15 minutes, then this will be conveyed by our support team. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much then. I will see you all on the other side.
See you.
All right.
Thank you.
help if I put my own pictures on. Right, are we all connected? Who are we waiting for?
I think so. Kenny's, oh, sorry, this is Bill, the clerk. Kenny's, I've had to allow your, oh, there you are. Yeah, I had to click on allow mic and camera again. I don't know why this time, but anyway, there you are.
Thank you.
Right, okay. Okay, right, so everyone's here. So we did get back, I think, inside the time limits that we talked about. I'll say we've considered the application and we've agreed to accept the application and approve the application with the condition that the music be restricted to background music with limiters, and that there be staff on the gate and the car park at weekends. So we'd like those installed as conditions, not because anyway intended to the current management, but we have to look beyond that if in case there's anything else. So they're the conditions that we would apply. Can I say that any objectors have the right to appeal within 21 days of this decision to the Magistrates' Court if they don't agree with our decision? And the decision will be sent out to participants within 5 working days. So I think have I covered everything, Caneets?
Yes, Chair, you have.
Right. Fine. Can I therefore, then it just remains me to say that thank you for your attendance at this arduous meeting that we've had today, which is, it was a pleasant meeting after several we've had recently. So anyway, thank you very much. And I hope all goes well with everybody, and please keep safe.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, councillors.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny's.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good night.
See you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicola and Jettin. And we'll see you at another one. All too soon.
See you.
Next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Roll up next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
Anyway, enjoy yourselves for the rest of your evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Right,
Good night, everyone.
bye.
Good
Good
night.
night. Bye.